What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to Polar's Wrath. My name is JD, and on this channel we've been playing through a series where we're trying to figure out the best of every type. We've done a bunch of types already, we still have a bunch of types to do. Part of this series is every Pokemon gets 2 playthroughs. So right now I'm in electric types, every Pokemon in electric type will get 2 playthroughs before I give my conclusion of who the best electric type is. In previous typings we did not do that. We didn't initially plan on doing that, but I thought it'd only be fair to be able to play through, get a little bit of information, and play through again with a little bit of modification, see if I can make a Pokemon better. That's always been the goal here, is to get the best out of every Pokemon. Now, I don't have the time to play through like 9 or 10 times to get the best case scenario. I just have one run, get some information, and then apply some logic to the second run and see if I can improve it. We have 3 Pokemon today we're going to actually do the second runs for. The first Pokemon we're going to do that for is Dragonite. Now, Dragonite's first run wasn't like horrible. For its stats total, it's pretty bad. 54 minutes, 30 seconds, 2 resets at level 60. This Pokemon has 3 main problems. First off, its moveset's kind of garbage. This Pokemon only gets 1 move to start the game that you can attack with, which is Wrap, and then the 3 other moves are Leer, Thunder Wave, and Agility. Now, those moves aren't the worst moves ever. However, when you just have Wrap, that's not great. It doesn't always hit all the time. There's a lot of downsides to this move. The other problem this Pokemon has is it has a very high attack stat, and we get no moves to utilize that. It only Wrap and then Body Slam about a third of the way through the game. So we gotta go a long time without having our best stat utilized, like, effectively. And then the last problem this Pokemon has is it's in the slow level up rates. It takes forever to get every level. It does have some, like, nice things, like the TM moveset's very elaborate. However, it just has so many things wrong with it. But we're gonna jump into the Elite Four and see if we can get a better time. 54 minutes, 30 seconds. And we jump into Elite Four. We're at 46 minutes as we get to Elite Four. So that was prompting us to have a very good time. However, we're going to see what happens with it. Lorelai's our first Elite Four member. Dugong comes out. Dugong Gong Gong. And we are going to not get one shot, but we're going to go for Thunderbolt. We get our attack stat lowered. Not the biggest deal in the world because we're just going to badge boost here in a little bit anyway. We get the Slowbro, and Slowbro's going to give us the ability to use Agility. That's quite funny. Thunderbolt knocks out the Slowbro, and we don't get a knockout on the Jinx. We get a 2-hit knockout, I should say. But we don't one-shot the Lapras, and Blizzard just obliterates us. If we just got a Paralyze right there and it wouldn't attack this, it probably could have saved this Pokemon a lot of time. But that's our second reset of the game, and we're just going to go again for Thunderbolt on the Dugong Gong Gong. Knock out the Dugong, knock out the Cloyster, get to the Slowbro, and we're going to do this again. We're going to do Agility 1, 2, and 3, and it doesn't look like Agility is going to be enough to power this Pokemon through. That's the problem right here, is Agility doesn't look like it's going to be enough to power through, so we might have to switch to Mimic and use Mimic on the Slowbro and get Amnesia. And we're not getting the one-shot again, and Blizzard again one-shots. So we're having problems here. Now, we are a much lower level than we were in the previous playthrough. In the previous playthrough, I over-leveled a little bit, and right now, I got to this point in the game by not being over-leveled. I got to the level I thought we'd be just good enough to get by certain parts, and right now, it's kind of coming back to bite us. So we walked in here at 46 minutes, we're at 48 minutes, so we're taking 2 minutes just to get by Lorelai. So what we did, we mimicked Amnesia. Amnesia's going to give us a stat boost to our special. It's going to boost all the stats, but it's going to boost special so that we're so powerful with our Thunderbolt that we don't get a chance to get attacked with Lapras. We could have got critical hit there and maybe not knocked out the Lapras, but we get the win and move right on to Bruno. Bruno, we don't talk about very much. He is quite easy as long as he capitulates, and we just across the board can just go for... we're going to go for Mimic first and Mimic Harden just to badge boost a little bit. We did level up in the battle. So that's kind of the benefit to this, is we're not going to level up and lose our badge boost. However, it just takes forever to level up with this Pokemon. Knock out Hitmonchan, knock out Hitmonlee, knock out the Onix it says, and then Machamp comes out. It's not going to be a one-shot, it's going to be a 2-shot. No big deal. Get a pretty easy win over Bruno. He's easy, and we move right on to the next trainer, which is Agatha, the old hag of the Elite Four. Hagatha, as I like to call her. She can poison you, paralyze you, put you to sleep. So he switched in and put Blizzard on this. Now, Gengar has super high special, so it kind of like tanks a lot of those moves, even though those moves are extremely powerful. I don't understand it. But we get the knockout over the Haunter, so that leaves us with 2 Pokemon left. Arbok will be a 2-shot with Thunderbolt. Screech actually ups our special, so our special is going to be more powerful this time. Now, we had a problem here where I was worried about potentially not being able to knock out the Gengar. We did freeze it, so we get as many chances we want, but if we would have missed the Blizzard or 2, we might not have been able to win that battle. With that being said, we move right on to Lance, the Dragon Master. And Lance is going to come out with a Gyarados. Gyarados can come out. We're going to go for Thunderbolt and the Gyarados. It's a one-shot. Not a problem at all. Dragonair comes out. We're going to go for Blizzard. Now, here's the problem with Blizzard. Blizzard's not 100% accurate. Why I like Ice Beam a lot better than Blizzard is we don't have to worry about it missing as often, and we get the knockout on Aerodactyl. And now we have Dragonite come out, and we get slammed, and he's going to go for Hyper Beam and knock us out. If we just had Ice Beam, we might have just won that battle, and we might not. We might have a drastic improvement of this time. The whole goal here is to get a better time than the previous time. And like I said, the previous time with Dragonite, we're looking at 54 minutes and 30 seconds, and it looks like we are just inching towards that. We have had 3 resets since we've been in the Elite Four. It looks like it could definitely put this in jeopardy. So we beat Lance eventually, and we move right on to the champion. And the champion's going to come out, and it's going to come out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot's going to come out. Now, we don't have a way to mimic anything off Pidgeot in Badge Boost. It's not like the rival battle before this, but it has agility, knockout. We're going to go for Mimic. We're going to Mimic Recover on the Alakazam. Psychic actually drops our special, so we're going to have Badge Boost here, hopefully, and get our special recovered. So we're going to recover our health. And what we want here is right on to do the Badge Boost by hitting Leer. Hits a Leer on us. It's going to modify all the stats around it, and it just does not want to capitulate. I burned through all these recovers, and it does not want to capitulate. This is the worst run. Up to this point, we had a pretty solid run with Dragonite, but we just get the worst Elite Four run possible, and now we can't recover any more health, so we're just going to have to go for broke and see if we can just knock out this Pokemon regardless. We go for Body Slam, knock it out, and then Gyarados comes out, and because our special is lowered, we do not one-shot Gyarados, a 4-times weak Pokemon to electric moves, and we do not one-shot Gyarados. That's just asinine to me. Now, Arcanine gives us a little bit of a stat boost because it hits us, but we level up in middle battle. Don't know how that happened, but we level middle battle, and then we knock out the Venusaur with a combination of Blizzard and Body Slam, and we eventually do get the knockout. And we get the win at 53 minutes and 5 seconds, because it really wasn't much of an increase. It really saved a minute. And it's just because we got really bad luck at the Elite Four. And that's what I'm going to chalk this up to as, is this Pokemon just doesn't synergize well. Its moveset doesn't synergize well with its stats. Its stats don't synergize well with its level up rate. It's just a lot of things with this Pokemon don't fit well. And this Pokemon is not made to start the game with. It's just not. A lot of Gen 1 Pokemon are like this, where a lot of its stuff that it needs are skewed towards like middle to end of the game, because that's when you get the Pokemon. And this Pokemon is a prime example of that. Starting with Rat. I don't understand why this Pokemon has Rat. Like, it makes sense for Dratini and Dragonair. But this Pokemon having Rat does not make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me why this Pokemon can't learn Mega Punch. That would be a huge move for this Pokemon. Doesn't make any sense why this Pokemon looks very much like Charizard, and Charizard can use Seismic Toss, but why can't this Pokemon? Doesn't make sense to me. I may do a what if in the future where I try to fix this Pokemon, like give it just like Mega Punch, give it access to Seismic Toss. A lot of these things would really help this Pokemon out. I just don't understand why these things aren't like applicable. Any upright Pokemon with fists usually gets access to like Mega Punch, and it's just not the case with this Pokemon. It's just a lot of things with this Pokemon. And like I said, it doesn't synergize well, and it results in the move. Well, I play a third playthrough of this Pokemon, maybe in the future, but I don't think this Pokemon's going to make a huge dent in my overall ranking by the time I get to the end of this series. So a third playthrough will be way down the road just for fun, maybe. I have like time, or maybe just get more time to do these playthroughs anyway, because this channel takes off more. But this Pokemon, really, it's like right around 50 minutes is about what it's going to be. If anything, I might get down like 49 minutes. I did get to the Elite Four with 47 minutes, so there was a possibility of like obliterating the Elite Four, but it just doesn't have anything. There's no stab moves to this Pokemon. Like Dragon type isn't utilized, Flying type isn't utilized, so there's nothing you can do with that. So you have nothing that's like overpowered, and the only thing I can think of is maybe give it Hyper Beam, and Hyper Beam would help this Pokemon out immensely. Which can you get this? Yeah, you can. Okay, I was gonna say. I was looking at it and I'm like a Body Slam, takedown, double. Oh no, where is it? Like Hyper Beam can definitely use this Pokemon gets it via level up. It just gets it. We didn't get to level 60 to utilize that. That's Dragonite, and we're going to move on to the next Pokemon, which is Gengar. Now, Gengar has the exact opposite problem that Dragonite has. Gengar actually synergizes pretty well. It's got great stats. A lot of its moves cater to its best stat, which is its special and speed. Those are the two best stats of this Pokemon. First playthrough, we got a time of 47 minutes and 23 seconds. It starts off with a okay moveset. That's probably its biggest flaw, is its starting moveset, but its typing really helps it because you cannot get hit by any normal moves with this Pokemon. It's completely immune. And in fighting moves, that's not a big deal. There's not a lot of fighting moves in the game. Having that immunity in the beginning of the game, we just fly through and not worry about getting hit at all, is just a huge advantage for Gengar compared to the other Pokemon in this challenge. 47 minutes and 23 seconds is what we ended the game with. That's the time we got. Let's go ahead and dive into the Elite Four. And we're at 0 resets, and we're walking in the Elite Four at 38 minutes, and 39 minutes. It's about around 39 minutes. And we're level 65. So we get a one-shot on the Dugong, like I said. Great special, this Pokemon. Thunderbolt is a special move, so we're one-shotting across the board. Jinx is the next Pokemon. We do not one-shot Jinx. The only thing we have to worry about there is maybe getting frozen. And then Lapras is going to be a one-shot. A lot of critical hits, too, because we have high speed. So we get the very easy win over Lorelei, and it leaves us right into Bruno. Bruno is going to be a cakewalk as well, because we can just sit here and we're going to use Psychic, and we're going to steamroll the entire team. We're going to one-shot everything. The only thing we might not one-shot is the Machamp, and Machamp will come out. Arnis will go down, and Machamp will come out. And, yep, okay, we one-shot Machamp. And that leads us right into Hagatha. Hagatha has all Poison or Ghost Pokemon, which are weak to Psychic, and like I said, we have a great special. So one-shot in the Gengar didn't get a critical hit, and it's a one-shot. One-shot in the Golbat. Haunter comes out. If the Gengar's a one-shot, so is the Haunter, so we get a knockout there. One-shot in the Arbok, and the last Pokemon, the other Gengar, hey, that's us. And not a big deal. We get a 2-hit knockout. There's nothing really she can do at that situation. We get the win, and we move right on to the next trainer, which is Lance. So we got 3 members of Elite Four out of the way. Lance is the final one, and I don't think we're going to have any problems with this one either, because we're going to go for Thunderbolt on the Gyarados. Gyarados gets one shot. Dragonair comes out. We're going to go for Confuse Ray just to make sure Dragonair can't hit us. We don't have a great move, and we're not badge boosting. I don't want to get rid of anything to badge boost. I could have badge boosted here. I really could have. I could have gotten rid of probably Double Edge, or maybe Confuse Ray has run its course. But there's one Pokemon I want to keep Confuse Ray for, and we'll get to that here in a second. But we're going to go for Thunderbolt on the Aerodactyl. It's a one-shot. And now we just have Dragonair. Dragonair's not going to do too much to us. It really doesn't have a move that can actually hit us now. I'm looking at it. So we get a very easy win over Lance at 41 minutes and 15 seconds. That leads us into our final member of the Elite, not the member of Elite Four, but our final battle of the game, which is our rival. Rival comes out as the champ. Thunderbolt is a one-shot. The Pidgeot. Alakazam comes out. We're going to go for Double Edge on the Alakazam. And we're going to go for Double Edge again. We get a little bit of damage done to ourselves. Not a big deal. We're going to go for Confuse Ray on the Rhydon. And what we want here, I don't know why I did this. I should have just gone for broke. But what I wanted to do is hit Leer. This is a common strategy I use in every playthrough. But if you don't have a badge boosting move, you get to the Rhydon, he'll use Leer, and that'll badge boost you. And the reason why I kept Confuse Ray is literally for this stupid Pokemon. I hate this Pokemon with a passion. Now, this Pokemon really cost us having a sub 42-minute run, because he just spams you out. He can't hit you. Barrage and Stomp will not hit you. So all he can really do is just stall you out, and our rival even has potions, so the potions can get utilized here. And all he can do is stall you out and just take your time. And like I said, there's a full restore. So now we're down to the point where we are trying to knock him out, try to have him knock himself out, help us out a little bit. But this is just a very bad Pokemon for Executor. If we had a Ghost move, it'd probably be very effective, but we don't have a Ghost move. We don't have that with this Pokemon. Gengar, really, you have 2 strategies. You just go all in on its special, like I'm doing here with Psychic and Thunderbolt. Or you have to go with its sleep strategies and use Dream Eater. And I'm not using Dream Eater. Relying on sleep strategies with this Pokemon is not smart. It's just not a good strategy. And I mean, speaking of sleep strategies, it's working very well for the champion. He just costs, now we're over 43 minutes, just about, because we just can't knock this stupid Pokemon out. We just can't. And we have a lot of power points, so that's not the problem. The problem is he stalls you out so much, and we finally get the Executor knocked out. It took 2 minutes to knock out that stupid Pokemon. Thunderbolt one-shots the Gyarados, and then Charizard comes out. Thunderbolt on the Charizard is a one-shot. So that's the scenario right there. And we're just going to go ahead and look at this, and we'll get our time locked in. Right there, I'm going to pause it. So we get a time locked in at 43 minutes and 13 seconds. So when you look at its original time of 47 minutes and 23 seconds, we really do improve pretty well. We get above a tier, and we do drastically improve that. Now, I have not shown the tier list yet. I will show the tier list whenever we're done with all the Pokemon. But Gengar, could this have been better? Abso-freaking-lutely. If we just get through this stupid Executor, we don't have anything for the Executor. There's nothing great for the Executor. That's our problem. And unless we want to utilize Sleep Strats, which I don't want to do, Confuse Ray was my best option with that. I was hoping it hit itself. Instead, Executor has the greatest accuracy ever when it comes to Hypnosis. I don't get it. It never works that way with us, but it is what it is. But Gengar does drastically improve. So 4 minutes time, when you get 47 minutes and you increase by 4 minutes, nothing to slouch at, but it could have been better. This one will probably get a third run before we get our final ranking when we're done with this whole challenge. But let's move on to our final Pokemon in this video, which is Charizard. Now, Charizard had a very, very good run in the first playthrough. 48 minutes, 15 seconds, nothing to sneeze at, but there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. This Pokemon synergizes so well. It has good physical attack, decent special, great speed, and then when we get access to Swords Dance and we get a lot of type coverage, this Pokemon really does hit the jackpot when it comes to its move diversity and everything like that. But this Pokemon, 48 minutes, 15 seconds, it can drastically be improved by just knowing the game a little bit better. We had 0 resets on the last playthrough. We're going to be a little bit riskier on this one. Let's go ahead and dive into the Elite Four. We're at 37 minutes and 5 seconds, so we really are pacing to do really well. We just got to get through some problems. And here's the first problem we might have, which is Lorelei. Lorelei is the Ice Trainer, which means she has a lot of water Pokemon. We're not doing too bad with it. She does go for Growl, which counters a little bit of my badge boosting with Swords Dance, but we do go ahead and get the knockout here. Now we're in a position where we should be able to one-shot across the board. Our stats are very high. And it's just a matter of whether we're getting the one-shots or not. If we get a critical hit, that could screw us over a little bit. Screw us over, no, actually, previous playthrough, got a lot of critical hits. It cost us a handful of, probably a couple minutes easily. But we get the win over Lorelei. She's one of the scarier ones. We move right on to Bruno. Bruno's not scary at all. We're going to set up 1 or 2 Swords Dance, and we're just going to clean sweep his entire team. He's not going to do anything with it, and we just misclick there, and we're going to do Earthquake, and Earthquake's going to one-shot the entire team. Not even a problem. We level up, not a big deal. We weren't badge boosting to get the other stats boosted. We just want our attack stat to be as high as it can be so we can just one-shot across the board. Like I said, the only way that can stop anything there is maybe a critical hit. That moves us right into our next battle, which is against Hagatha, the old hag of the Elite Four. And the reason why I say that is I've started reading. I forgot some of the things she says to you. Whenever you win, she's like, "Go, move along, child." And you just got beat by a child, so shut your mouth, lady. Shut your mouth. We have to go ahead and reestablish our badge boost because Golbat comes out, makes this a little more difficult than it has to be, and goes for Haze. Haze eliminates all stat modifications, so we almost get knocked out here. Almost get knocked out. Confuse Ray, we get over the Confuse Ray, we power through it, we get the knockout, and Gengar's going to be a one-shot as well. A little bit more convoluted than it had to be. Lorelei and Agatha are both like that. But we move right on to Lance. Now, Lance is the problem with this Pokemon, because he comes out with the Gyarados. Gyarados will go for Hydro Pump every single time. Now, we made a mistake here. Instead of just doing the strategy I did in the last one, I figured out a good strategy for Fire-type Pokemon. Just go for Body Slam. You might get a critical hit. You might miss a Hydro Pump, but Body Slam will be a 2-shot. Have Rest on your moveset so that you can recover your stats, or recover your health, I should say. And we get fully set up. We're going to rest. Dragonair can't really do that much to us. Maybe a critical hit, Hyper Beam would do something to us. Maybe it'd make it difficult to finish this game or whatever. But we don't. Now we're set up and we're about half health, and we're going to go for Earthquake and then Body Slam on Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl's in a healing loop, so we knock it out. And then Dragonite's the final Pokemon. Only a critical hit right there. Could have cost us, but it didn't. We beat Lance, and like I said, he's the biggest problem. He's our only reset of this run so far. We're at 41 minutes going into the final battle of the game against the champion. He comes out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot really can't do anything to us. Swing attack might do a little bit of damage with the critical hit like it just did, but we're not too concerned about that. Double Edge will one-shot the Pidgeot. Very good. We have access to rest. If we need to recover health, we can. We one-shot. We don't need to set up anything when it comes to the Rhydon. We have decent health left, and I'm confident in our ability to get through. Now, we don't have a fire move for Executor, so that he could be a problem. But I think with our stat modifications, we should do pretty well. If you went for Hypnosis there, it could have cost us some time, but it didn't. So we get an Earthquake on the Blastoise, and we get one more Earthquake, and we get the knockout. Very good, very good. Very solid run from Charizard, and we get a massive improvement in our time. Like I said, the previous time with Charizard was 48 minutes and 15 seconds. We get this done in 41 minutes and 42 seconds. That is fantastic. That is a massive increase. And I think, could it be faster? It possibly could be faster. I can come at this with an even lower levels. This Pokemon definitely is a candidate to get a third playthrough before I wrap up this entire series. Keep an eye out for that. Let's go ahead and look at the tier list of what it is before we did these playthroughs. So right now we're looking at Dragonite is in the sub 55 run, right behind Rapidash, right in front of Jolteon. Gengar and Charizard are, both of them are sitting by themselves in the sub 50 run, so right under 50 minutes. And here's what it looks like whenever we modify this. Dragonite still stays in the sub 55 tier. It doesn't move very far, but Gengar and Charizard move. Charizard is now 4th place in our rankings, just behind Poliwrath, and not by much. Poliwrath's time is literally about 15 seconds faster than this Pokemon. Congrats to Charizard, it's a great run, and probably could be better, just like with Poliwrath. I don't know if I can get Dugong to be better, but I think Articuno could definitely get sub 40 or first sub 40 run. And then Charizard, like I said, is right in front of Lapras. Lapras, I think I've maxed out Lapras. I don't think it can get much better. And then Gengar has surpassed Machamp. I think Machamp could be better, and I think Gengar could be slightly better. but I don't know if there's drastic. So now the category for sub 50 is really like lonely. There's nothing there, literally like nothing there at all. And everyone's moving into that sub 45 run. And these are a lot of Pokemon that I would expect to be in this tier. If you look at more Pokemon that's coming up, I expect like Victory Bell to be in this. I don't expect any other electric Pokemon to move into this. I do expect Magneton to move into the sub 50 run, and maybe Jolteon as well. With that being said, that's the video. That's what this video was trying to do. It's trying to move all these Pokemon up a little bit, trying to get, like, level them up, no pun intended, when it comes to where they sit ranking-wise. So that was the whole goal of this video, and I think we accomplished that significantly. And I think there's still more to come with some of these Pokemon. A lot of the Pokemon in the sub 45 run, I think there's some improvement there. Some Pokemon, no. I don't think Lapras and Cloyster could be that much more improved. But I do think there's a handful of Pokemon here that can be. I do want to let you know that on Friday we are having a video. We're continuing with our Electric type series where Electabuzz is being played through. Electabuzz is actually quite surprising. He has some pretty good things going for him. He does not have a great early game. I'm just letting you know that right now. Quick Attack and Leer are the only moves it has. So you can probably guess how that goes. But after that, this Pokemon really takes off. And then next Wednesday, we're not going to do another video like this. What we are going to do next Wednesday is what we're going to do is we're going to do a what if. And the what if is going to be about Electabuzz and Generation 2's moveset. We're going to move that back to Gen 1, see how much better, how much drastic this Pokemon can be, how much more it improves, whatever the case may be. Next Friday, we have another Pokemon in the Electric type playthrough. We have Electrode, and then the final Electric Pokemon we have to play through as is the following Friday, and that's Raichu. And then we'll give a big recap, and then a big prediction video for the next type. Haven't decided the next type? Comment down below what next type you want. If you made it this far, you're awesome. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, and leave a like on this video. That way, I know you like it, and you can come back, and you get notified when I post videos like this. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Friday.